What is going on, Jerome's? So the Minnesota Vikings are currently, as of right meow, sitting at the number 12 overall selection in the 2022 NFL Draft. Who are they going to take? Who is going to be in a Vikings jersey next season? TBD, especially TBD if they stick and pick at that spot. But wanted to run through the list of some limited history of number 12 overall. Who has been taken at the dozen spot? And, I mean, is there talent? Is there bust? Is there lots of things? Yeah, I mean, it certainly is. So we're going to go back. Baby, come back. So we're going to go back to 1980 because, I don't know. Arbitrary date feels right, but Stan Brock coming out of Colorado, go Buffaloes, going to the Saints, whatever. Some of these names I'm not familiar with. Randy McMillan, Walter Abercrombie and Fitch going to the Steelers, great. Tony Hunter, not Tory Hunter, but Tony Hunter. Alfonso Carricker, it's a great name. Stupid team, greasy grimy Green Bay Packers. Jim Lachey going to the Chargers. Chuck Long, maybe the last great Iowa quarterback. Also, his name can be a verb in terms of what the role of a quarterback is. Chuck Long. Ooh. Danny Noonan, Ken Harvey. All right, so now we're starting to get into names that I remember from Trace Armstrong, who really more made his bones with the Dolphins, but was drafted by the Bears at number 12 in 1989. James Francis, Alvin Harper. Alvin Harper, the forever, the Peter Principle guy, where he was fantastic as the number 2 in Dallas behind Michael Irvin, but then the Buccaneers gave him all the money, and it's just like, no. And then he returned to the Cowboys, too. That's more tilting. Marco Coleman, Patrick Bates, almost Patrick Bateman, close. Aaron Glenn, who was a great cornerback back in the day for the Jets, Jets, and now is a solid up-and-coming defense coordinator. I think eventually he will be a head coach someday. And then 95, Warren Sapp, going to the Bucs. Now, there have been some smoke, pun intended, that, I mean, the Vikings were interested, but it didn't happen. I mean, I think of Warren Sapp during his peak in some of those Vikings defenses would have been phenomenal. And also, so the Bucs had a sustained run where they had the number 12 overall pick 3 years in a row. Regan Upshaw, decent defensive end from California. I don't know why Sapp is listed as a D end here. Sorry, I cut and pasted some of these from the interweb, so what do you know? Work done. Fantastic running back from the Florida State University. Was fantastic for the Bucs and the Falcons in his career. Keith Brooking. Now, I used to like Keith Brooking. He was great with the Falcons, but then he joined the Cowboys, and then he was the guy in 2009 who was all whiny. He was like, "You're running up the score," when the Vikings were just kicking the Cowboys' ass. I think it was 31-3 or 34-3, one of the two. But yeah, Brooking was all mad about it. Hey, you could stop us, bro. I mean, you could stop Bert Favre. I mean, what could go wrong? I mean, the Vikings are rolling in the division round. What can go wrong? Next up, 1999, Cade Mcnoun. If you ever want to make yourself feel better about being a Vikings fan and the plight of the quarterbacks here, you can go back and look at all the Bears quarterbacks. Just the gong show, gong, 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 gong. Cade Mcnoun out of UCLA, not so much. 2000, Sean Ellis went to the Jets, was fantastic for a number of seasons. Damian Lewis to the Rams. So 2 out of 3 years, Damian Lewis and Jimmy Kennedy, the Rams spent on defensive tackle. Jimmy Kennedy had a cup of coffee with the Vikings also back in the day. Wendell Bryant coming out of Wisconsin, stupid Badger, going to the Cardinals. Jonathan Vilma, who knew nothing about Bountygate, sure. Great with the Jets, garbage with the Saints because we hate the Saints, whatever. Sean Merriman, again, another guy that the Vikings allegedly wanted. I mean, Mike Tyson says he wanted him, but sure. Sean Marion, lights out, coming out of Maryland, where, I mean, his time with the Chargers was phenomenal. Like, just in terms of a pure pass rusher, just a guy who went out and got it. Haloti Ngata had himself a phenomenal career with the Ravens. I think he finished up with the Lions, pretty sure. 2007, Marshawn Lynch, beast mode, coming out of Cal, and then going to Buffalo, where, because I think it was Kenny Mayne ESPN segment where it showed him at like a Dave & Buster's or Applebee's. Like, he was drinking beers at Applebee's because they're Buffalo. But yeah, Marshawn Lynch really came into his own once he went to Seattle after his time in Buffalo. Then back-to-back number 12 overall picks for the Broncos. So Ryan Clady, who was a phenomenal tackle for a number of years with the Broncos. Noshawn Moreno, who had a decent career, both with the Broncos, and then he bounced around for a little bit. Ryan Matthews. I'll always remember Ryan Matthews because of the way that he spells his name. Matthews. There you go. So he was coming out of Fresno State. He was going to be the guy who replaced LaDainian Tomlinson as he went on to the Jets after a Hall of Fame career with the Chargers, and it didn't really pan out. Then I think Matthew spent some time with the Eagles too. And then 2011, yes. Adios mio. That's why we're here. So yes, Christian Ponder, 2011, number 12 overall. And to a degree, it was freaking out because Blaine Gabbert and Jake Locker went 8 and 10, and Cam Newton was obviously a 1. And the Vikings are at 12. They started panicking, right? So I think the Vikings were fully dialed in on Jake Locker, even though his career ended due to health issues. But they saw a run on quarterbacks, and they're like, all right, so we got to take our guy. And to a degree, it was a detriment to Christian Ponder because McNabb wasn't going to hold on to the job. He was too obtuse. And then Ponder's thrown into the fire, where I think Ponder probably should have been a day 2 pick, like a 2nd or 3rd round pick. But, Senior Bowl MVP, woo. Although, Kellen Mond, Senior Bowl MVP. I'm holding that one close to my heart. But yeah, Ponder was just not ready for prime time. I think that he would have been a perfectly fine backup for his career, but he hung him up. What can you do? Fletcher Cox, 2012, go to the Eagles. Just redid his contract. So yeah, Fletcher Cox has been phenomenal for Philly. DJ Hayden coming out of Houston. What was it? He had a health issue. Like he had a sternum or something like that. But Raiders, Texans, blah, blah, blah. There. Then 2014, OBJ coming out of LSU, going to the Giants. He had like 1,200 yards in 12 games. Just a phenomenal rookie season. Then it didn't quite work out with the G-Men. It didn't work out with the Browns. It worked out with the Rams. 2015, Danny Shelton, who was just monster at Washington. He was like Mount Shelton going to the Browns. Yeah. Sheldon Rankins going to Louisville and the Saints. He's bounced around. I think he's gone from the Saints. I think he's on the Jets now. Something like that. 2017, Deshaun Watson at 12. So yeah, this is more about the stupid Bears taking Mitchell Trubisky-Ponder at 2 as opposed to Patrick Mahomes at 10, as opposed to Deshaun Watson at 12, blah, blah, blah. 2018, another nose tackle from Washington. They're phenomenal out there. Vita Vea going to the Bucs. He's low-key one of the best nose tackles in the game, especially against the run. Fantastic. 2019, Rashawn Gary coming out of Michigan, where he finally last year proved that he's not ass. Thank you. Yeah, so Rashawn Gary is starting to come along. And frankly, I think a lot of it is due to the tutelage of Mike Pettin and Mike Smith. So he definitely owes a lot to Smitty and also Zadarius Smith. But now we has them. 2020, Henry Ruggs third, not so much. 21, Micah Parsons, who remember the whole Micah Parsons thing. It was like, oh, he didn't play in 2020. And what position does he really play? Is he off ball? Is he an edge? Blah, blah, blah. And he just came in and was Defensive Rookie of the Year. You could make a case that he was Defensive Player of the Year as well, although T.J. Watt edged him out. But yeah, Micah Parsons at 12. I mean, if the Vikings are fortunate enough to pick up a Micah Parsons, I don't really see one of them in the draft, where in terms of you have this player who's just a physical freak and is a great off-ball linebacker, but also can rush the passer. I mean, Devin Lloyd to a degree, sure, but that's the sort of impact that you see at 12. Like you've obviously seen some misses, but I mean, there's a lot of hits there too, and especially the composition of this year's draft. I think there's gonna be a lot of talent there on the board for the Vikings at 12. So if they want to stick and pick, seize the day, go ahead. If they want to move down, more power to them. Let's go get it. But your thoughts on our thoughts, looking at the history of the number 12 overall pick for the Vikings. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.